My people wonder, they say, shall never end. Allegedly, they said Ebony's life crumbled before her very eyes. You remember that Ebony's family have been her supportive system. They have been her backbone, strong backbone, because a lot of people are saying that the reason Ebony is still in that marriage with the king is because of her family. Because despite everything that Ebony have been committing, her family will always stand gidigba, telling the king that she is just a girl. She is just trying to win the heart of her husband. She is just a jealous girl, this, that. They never see any problem with what Ebony is doing in the palace. Even to the point, if you guys are following very well, remember that there was a time they said that Ebony's ruling house have told the king that if the king send Ebony away or refuse to continue with the marriage, that they are going to stand up against him in such a way that he will regret ever sending Ebony out of that marriage. And that is because that marriage is based on politics. The marriage is based on you must pick a bride from our ruling house to get our support, to gain our support, you know. Yes, they said Ebony's family is such a very big and massive and influential family. If they stand with you, you are going to go far. But if they stand against you, you are going to be having problems in your leadership. That is what they said. And when the king ascended the throne, they were throwing obstacles. They were kind of causing so much problem for him. And that is because before they supported him to be on the throne, they made him to promise to pick a wife from their ruling house, of which he did not do when he married Wurola. And when the marriage with Urola did not stand, of which Ebony and Co. are the reason from what we are hearing, that is if the information is true, the king did not still marry from the ruling house where Ebony comes from, you know, and they started giving it woto woto, spiritually, physically, and all of that. Then the king went ahead to marry the jewel without honoring that promise that he made that he's going to pick a bride from Ebony's house, Ebony's ruling house. Yet they still make sure that his own did not work. Not until he started marrying all of these women, and at the end of the day, he picked two brides from their ruling house. That was when the king that they normally call a king that cannot keep a wife, he now have so many wives to stay with. His wives are no longer going, and all of that. His wives are no longer leaving him. Now, with everything that Ebony is committing, the family will stand gidigba. They will fight for Ebony. They will tell the king. They will threaten him. They will do this. And because the king doesn't want problem, and the way the bloggers will carry it, it will no longer look like Ebony caused something that made that marriage not to work again. They will twist it in such a way that even the people that does not know what is happening, they will read another meaning into it and all of that. Now, Ebony have been doing all of this until Ebony did something that also affected her ruling house. That is when they know that Ebony is such a spoiled, arrogant girl that couldn't even keep a home and all of that. This life, when table turns like this, sometimes they favor everyone. According to what we are hearing right now, the reason that Ebony's elders have decided to wash their hands completely off from Ebony's marriage and the king is because of the fact that the Ebony that they planted in the palace to serve as a royal favor and blessings to them have turned out to be another thing, looking for her own pocket and everything. And when Ebony's activities in the palace could not keep her close to the king, because you know that the favor they are looking for comes from the king. If Ebony is in that palace and she's not in a good relationship with the king, there is no how her ruling house will get the favor from the king. It's only when a wife is making the husband happy that the husband will do anything for the wife's family in order to make them happy too. But when a wife is a reproach to you, the family of that wife, they will not see any good thing from you. They will not gain anything from you as a husband. So Ebony have turned like a reproach to the king that is always gbasgbos every now and then. You cannot respect your husband. You cannot do what your husband say you should do. You always fight what give the husband happy. And her family, they says, even though they are supporting her, they're always standing in the gap for her. They will always come and defend her in the palace. Now, what she did have also affected them because they believe strongly that the reason the king wants to marry Adetutu and push Ebony away is because of all the things that Ebony have been committing in that palace. And marrying Adetutu is going to cause them to lose that cocoa plantation that they have been dragging over the years with Adetutu's mother's family, you know. And because they know that if Adetutu is so good to the king, due to the fact that Adetutu will be doing all the rituals that Ebony used to do before, Adetutu will be close to the king, Adetutu will make the king happy. That if Adetutu should beg the king to rule that case, the land, the cocoa farm dispute, that if Adetutu should beg the king to rule it in her mother's family favor, that the king will do it, thereby making Ebony's family to lose. And they say that land is such a massive one. Although, from what we are hearing, they said that land belongs to Adetutu's family, mother's family. But because of Ebony's family, they are the kind of people they are, that they are dragging that land. But you know that assuming Ebony is doing well in the palace and Adetutu did not come into the picture, they believe that with Ebony, that the king can rule that case in their favor. So now that they have seen that, one, rumor have it that they are not the original owner of that land. Two, the Ebony that would have served as a help to them, you know, with the help of the king. Ebony is not in the good book of the king. So that is how they said the elders gathered. At first, Ebony buyed two goats and used it and prepare food, you know, and summon the elders and beg them that she is so sorry that she have cooked this food, to tell them that she is really sorry. And they said the elders told them that the goats and the food cannot bring back their land the way they are seeing it, that they have seen that with your attitude they are going to lose that land, and your food cannot change the narrative that the king and the palace have over you, because they no longer see you as someone that they will work with and all of that. They said the elders were angry with Ebony. Then it was after that meeting that they have to have another meeting. The others have another meeting. And after having that meeting, they said they have promised that they are no longer going to interfere with the marriage between Ebony and the king. That if Ebony commits anything in the palace henceforth, she will stand for herself. She will answer for herself. That they are not going to come and start begging the king to please tamper justice with mercy. We are no longer going to support you. This, that. After all, the king is a good man. Now, the daughter they have been nurturing, in as much as they have made mistake, because at some point they did not tell her the truth, but she is getting wild every day, and at this point they are no longer going to interfere. That whatever that comes out of her marriage right now, she should face it squarely. That is what we are here to know if the information is true. I want to remind you that these are all alleged unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless you verify them. Okay, thanks for watching. Do well to share this video. Bye. I love you.